Welcome back to Bible Tales with Peace. Lover of God, did you watch my last video on the kings of Israel? Those kings really provoked God. Today, we'll be looking at all the kings of Judah. Most of them really pleased God. They did what is right, and God fought for them and grant them victory. People of God, this video will help you to know the importance of doing what is right before God. So, sit down and watch to the end, and remember to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. God bless you.
Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, ascended to the throne of Judah after his father's passing, facing a kingdom divided and challenges that would shape his reign. As the people sought relief from heavy taxes, Rehoboam ignored their pleas, opting to listen to the counsel of his younger advisors instead of the wise elders who served his father. This decision led to a split in the kingdom, with 10 tribes rejecting Rehoboam as their king, resulting in the establishment of the northern kingdom of Israel under Jeroboam. In response to the division, Rehoboam focused on consolidating his power in Judah, strengthening defenses, and attempting to maintain peace in his remaining territory. Abijah, the second king of Judah, ruled with a fierce determination to uphold his father's legacy, but as conflict brewed between kingdoms, his reign would lead him into battles that would define his legacy. During his time on the throne, Abijah faced the powerful kingdom of Israel, led by King Jeroboam, leading to a pivotal war that would test his leadership and faith. Despite a valiant fight, Abijah's forces suffered great losses, but his unwavering spirit inspired his men as they regrouped to face the challenges that lay ahead. In the wake of the battle, Abijah's leadership faced scrutiny, but he remained steadfast in his commitment to protect Judah and establish peace among his people. Asa, the third king of Israel, ruled with a heart committed to reforming the land, removing idols, and restoring the worship of Yahweh, a path that would define his legacy, yet challenges loomed on the horizon. In his later years, Asa faced dire challenges from foreign nations and sickness, yet he remained steadfast in seeking guidance from the prophets, illustrating a king's struggle between faith and the weight of leadership. Upon his death, the people of Israel mourned Asa deeply, recognizing the king who had fought valiantly for righteousness and left behind a legacy that would echo through generations, both in triumphs and failures. King Uzziah ascended to the throne of Judah at just 16 years old, determined to lead his people with wisdom and strength. His rule was marked by prosperity and military success, but it also set the stage for a tragic downfall that would ultimately define his legacy. As Uzziah's fame grew, so did his pride. In a moment of arrogance, he breached sacred protocol by entering the temple to offer incense, a decision that enraged the high priest and set him on a path toward calamity. The moment Uzziah was struck with leprosy marked the tragic turn of his reign. Cast out from the palace and forced to live in isolation, the once great king faced the reality of his hubris as he lost everything he had built. Jehoshaphat, the fourth king of Judah, ruled with a strong commitment to faith and governance, seeking alliances and leading his people through trials that would ultimately shape the kingdom's future. Throughout his reign, Jehoshaphat faced numerous challenges, including military threats and internal strife, yet he remained steadfast in his faith, often turning to prayer and seeking divine guidance during desperate times. In his final days, Jehoshaphat sought peace and prosperity for Judah, and upon his passing, he left behind a legacy intertwined with faith, courage, and the hope that future generations would continue to honor the path he paved. Jehoram, the fifth king of Judah, ascended to the throne amid political strife and the challenges of leadership, navigating a kingdom fraught with conflict and division, while ultimately facing the consequences of his actions as his reign came to a tragic end. As Jehoram ruled, he made decisions that would shape the fate of Judah, often at odds with prophetic warnings, leading to a reign marked by both hope and despair, culminating in a death that left a profound impact on the nation's history. In the twilight of his reign, Jehoram faced external threats that tested his resolve, witnessing the siege of Jerusalem that threatened to unravel the kingdom he struggled to protect, leading to a legacy overshadowed by conflict. Ahaziah, the sixth king of Judah, ascended to the throne at a young age, inheriting a kingdom filled with challenges and political intrigue. His reign, although brief, was marked by alliances and conflicts that would shape the future of his lineage. As he navigated through the complexities of ruling, Ahaziah sought to strengthen Judah's position by forming alliances, yet his fate took a tragic turn during a fierce conflict that would seal his legacy. Injured and unable to rally his forces, Ahaziah's health rapidly declined, leading to a period of turmoil that left his kingdom vulnerable and his legacy hanging in the balance. Athaliah was a queen whose story is filled with ambition and tragedy, ruling as the seventh monarch of Judah, driven by her desire for power and control. Born into a royal family, Athaliah's life was marked by both privilege and peril as she navigated a world of political intrigue and betrayal. Her reign began with a fierce determination to secure her family's legacy, but it soon became a tale of treachery, marked by the elimination of rivals, As her son Ahaziah fell to his death, Athaliah seized the throne, eliminating any threats to her rule, believing she could reign indefinitely. Joash, the eighth king of Judah, ascended to the throne at a young age and proved to be a ruler who initiated significant reforms in worship, but his life would take a tragic turn as he faced betrayal and ultimately met a grim fate. Under Joash's rule, the temple was rebuilt, signifying a return to true worship, yet his reign faltered when he turned away from God, leading to his downfall as dissent grew among his advisors. As discontent escalated, Joash found himself fleeing for his life, haunted by the consequences of his decisions, ultimately becoming a tragic figure in the annals of Judah's history. Amaziah, the ninth king of Judah, ascended to the throne after the reign of his father Joash and became known for his mixed legacy of military triumphs and spiritual shortcomings. His reign saw victories against Edom, but was marked by the later conflict with Israel, ultimately leading to his downfall and capture. As Amaziah faced the consequences of his choices, he became increasingly isolated, losing the support of his people and experiencing the wrath of rival kings. Ultimately, he met a tragic end, betrayed and overthrown, leaving behind a legacy of both valor and folly. King Uzziah ascended to the throne of Judah at just 16 years old, determined to lead his people with wisdom and strength. His rule was marked by prosperity and military success, but it also set the stage for a tragic downfall that would ultimately define his legacy. As Uzziah's fame grew, so did his pride. In a moment of arrogance, he breached sacred protocol by entering the temple to offer incense, a decision that enraged the high priest and set him on a path toward calamity. The moment Uzziah was struck with leprosy marked the tragic turn of his reign. Cast out from the palace and forced to live in isolation, the once great king faced the reality of his hubris as he lost everything he had built. After a reign marked by faithfulness and construction, Jotham eventually faced illness and succumbed to death, passing the throne to his son Ahaz, who would lead the kingdom into darker times. Jotham was the 11th king of Judah, known for his faithfulness to God and efforts to strengthen his kingdom, yet he lived under the shadow of his father Uzziah's legacy and faced challenges throughout his reign. His commitment to righteousness was evident as he continued the construction of the temple and fortified the city against invaders. Jotham's legacy was one of mixed fortunes. His son Ahaz would soon take the throne, bringing a shift in direction for Judah as he turned away from his father's example and faced the looming threats from neighboring kingdoms. Ahaz became the 12th king of Judah, known for his turbulent reign, marked by significant challenges and decisions that would forever alter the kingdom's fate. As his reign unfolded, Ahaz faced threats from neighboring nations, leading him to make controversial alliances which ultimately drew Judah away from its faith. In a desperate attempt to secure his throne, Ahaz sacrificed the true worship of God, leading to significant consequences for himself and the people of Judah. Ultimately, King Ahaz's reign ended in tragedy as his decisions led to turmoil within Judah, leaving a legacy marked by both fear and disobedience. His reign was marked by a deep faith illustrated in 2 Kings 19:14-19, where Hezekiah earnestly prays for deliverance from the Assyrians, showcasing his reliance on divine intervention. Hezekiah, the 13th king of Judah, ruled during a pivotal time in biblical history, known for his devotion to God and significant reforms as documented in 2 Kings 18:20, which recount his ascension to the throne and the challenges he faced against the Assyrian Empire. Following this divine act, Hezekiah's faithfulness is celebrated in 2 Kings 20:16, where God promises him healing and additional years of life after he falls gravely ill, emphasizing his importance in Judah's legacy. After being taken captive by the Assyrians, Manasseh turned to God in his desperation, leading to a heartfelt repentance and subsequent restoration of his kingdom as described in 2 Chronicles 33. Manasseh, the 14th king of Judah, was known for his long and tumultuous reign that lasted 55 years. Despite his initial descent into idolatry and evil practices, which are detailed in 2 Kings 21, he later experienced a profound transformation. His reign concluded with reforms that led to the revival of true worship in Judah, but history records the struggle he faced between his sinful past and the desire for redemption, as noted in 2 Kings 21:16. King Amon ascended the throne of Judah after the death of his father, King Manasseh, but his reign was short-lived and marked by idolatry and unfaithfulness to God, ultimately leading to his assassination. Despite the warnings from faithful followers, Amon persisted in the wrongful practices established during his father's reign, leading to growing unrest among the people who longed for a return to true worship. Ultimately, Amon's reign ended when his own servants conspired against him, leading to his assassination in the palace, an act that reflected the people's deep discontent and desire. Josiah, the 16th king of Judah, ascended to the throne at just 8 years old, and under his reign, he sought to restore true worship and abolish idolatry throughout the kingdom. In a pivotal moment, he discovered the Book of the Law within the temple walls, leading to a national revival as he rallied the people to return to their covenant with God, ultimately facing a tragic end in battle against Pharaoh Necho. Josiah's reign was marked by profound religious reforms, but his untimely death at Megiddo left the kingdom in mourning, as he was remembered for his unwavering commitment to the faith and the reforms he implemented. Jehoahaz, the 17th king of Judah, was a young ruler who ascended to the throne after the death of his father, King Josiah, but his reign was short-lived and marked by chaos and defeat. After a mere 3 months, Jehoahaz was taken captive by King Necho II of Egypt, who imposed a heavy burden on the people of Judah, leading to a dark chapter in their history. Jehoahaz eventually died in exile in Egypt, his legacy overshadowed by his failures as recorded in 2 Kings 2-3, 1-3-4, marking a somber and reflective end to his story. Jehoahaz's reign was not merely a tale of personal failure, it reflected a broader spiritual and national crisis in Judah as seen in the prophetic warnings in Jeremiah 22:1-12, urging the people to return to righteousness. As Babylon's power grew, Jehoiakim faced immense pressure and made the fateful decision to rebel against Nebuchadnezzar, leading to dire consequences for himself and his kingdom. Jehoiakim, the 18th king of Judah, reigned during a tumultuous time marked by foreign invasions and internal strife. His story is chronicled in the biblical books of 2 Kings and 2 Chronicles, where it reveals his challenges and ultimate demise. After being defeated, Jehoiakim was taken captive to Babylon, where he vanished from history. His death remains shrouded in mystery, but his legacy is preserved through scripture and the lessons of his rule. Jehoiakim, the 19th king of Judah, ascended to the throne at the young age of 18, ruling for a mere 3 months before the Babylonian siege led to his capture. He was taken to Babylon in chains, a pivotal event recorded in 2 Kings 2:4-8-16. During his captivity, Jehoiakim spent years in prison, witnessing the fall of Jerusalem. His eventual release and provision by the Babylonian king, as noted in 2 Kings 25-2-7-30, marked a significant turn in his life. After 37 years of captivity, Jehoiakim was released from prison and granted a place of honor. This moment of grace and restoration is beautifully captured in the historical texts as he began to rebuild his life and reconnect with his heritage. Zedekiah was the 20th and last king of Judah, reigning during a time of great turmoil and conflict. He was appointed by Nebuchadnezzar II after his brother Jehoiachin was taken captive. Despite being warned by the prophet Jeremiah about the impending Babylonian threat,
Thanks for
Zedekiah
watching.
struggled with
Please
his
like
loyalty
and
to
subscribe
God
and
his
share
fear
for
of the
more
people
Bible
leading him
stories.
to make fateful
God bless
decisions
you.
that would seal the demise of his kingdom. After a brief attempt to rebel against Babylonian control, Zedekiah ultimately faced catastrophic consequences. Jerusalem fell in 586 BC, leading to the destruction of the temple and the city. Captured by the Babylonians, Zedekiah witnessed the execution of his sons before his own eyes were put out, sealing his fate as a tragic figure in history.